Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. Today's Thursday, so I want to say happy Thursday. Let me get rid of this line here. I don't know why it's just randomly placed there. But before we get into a recap of the overall markets, I'd like to say welcome. Thank you for stopping in and listening to another ShortMeTina video, or perhaps it's your first ShortMeTina video. Do us a solid before I proceed. Just comment in the comment section. Say hi, let me know your name. You'll see that I usually always respond. And after you hear my analysis, come right back and tell me what you think about my analysis. Anyway, right now on the screen is the SPY S&P 500 daily chart dating back to around 2017. So we essentially ended flat to slightly negative on the day. I see a quote here of 296.93. We're off by 0.23%. So for me, the market served up a whole nothing burger today, right? I didn't really pay too much attention to the markets because, well, it didn't really do much. So to refresh folks, or to if you're new particularly, or if you haven't listened to a video in a while, just to give you a bit of a refresher, what I'm paying attention to obviously is this level right here. That's what was once formerly resistance of 293 to 295. It's now acting as support. And why am I saying it's acting as support? Well, you can see during the last few trading days, the market for the most part has retested that zone, that 293 to 295 zone. Most recently is yesterday when it went as low as 294.33. And then we're continuously getting that bounce, right? So granted, we are we have broken out of this 2-year range. You can see it again dating back to 2017. I've highlighted the range. We've clearly broken out of this 2-year range. We've pulled back, retested that breakout area, and so far we've held again close to 296.93. As long as we can stay above that area, that is promising in my opinion. For the bulls, if we start to drift below, and it seems as though we might want to because we've tested that level a few times, if we manage to actually collapse and drift below, then I would say that's a cautionary tale at this point. Considering all that the market has been through, I think it's a wonder. I think it's a testimony perhaps to the quote-unquote strength of the bulls that the market is sitting right here. But we're not quite out of the woods yet. This potentially might be a double top that we're looking at, but time will tell. Let's see how the third quarter wants to end. Let's see how we begin the fourth quarter. And that's really what I'm paying attention to. What else? All right, and then we have the IWM daily chart dating back to 2017. I cleaned up the chart a little bit comparative to what you normally see in these daily videos with the IWM. Anyway, so with the exception of these arrows, I kept them just so it can be a little bit more pronounced. I had a lot of other things on the screen. I had like red arrows. I had things highlighted. So you can kind of see with the arrows, essentially what I am paying attention to when I look at the IWM. And again, the black arrows are attempts, right? Attempts where the market got close to that 160 level, right? Sometimes getting to 160 and have failed. Right, and again, this is a daily chart going back to 2017. Not to be repetitive or redundant, but I just want you to see that that is really a huge quote-unquote psychological wall or level for the market. And obviously to get past that with volume would be of great significance, right? So again, daily chart, we're off about 1.1% on the day. I see a quote of 152.41. In the videos that I've done, I want to say within the last 2 or 3 days, I said it's not crucial, but it would have been nice for the market to actually trade above 153. We have not done that. So again, perhaps a question mark or a cautionary tale. But back to the arrows daily chart 2017. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most recently, 8 times in which the market has tried to penetrate that 160 level to no avail. This, in previous videos, this area is highlighted because this is the time in which we actually were successful. We had that little bit of an overshoot, and then we came crashing down about a year ago. So really what I'm paying attention to is 160. Everything else, it is what it is. But if we can really at least make another attempt to surpass 160 and sustain that, I'm going to assume that we're going to do similar to what we did back in May of 2018 to September. I feel like we're going to get an overshoot at minimum to all-time highs of around 173. We're a way off from there, but that's what I'm paying attention to with the IWM. What else? And then we have ticker PRPO. Huge congrats to the bulls. This is a daily chart dating back to 2017, but just focusing on price action here. Again, congrats to the bull. Stock is up about 50% on the day. I see a quote here of 327. Yesterday, we got a bounce off of that near all-time lows of around $2.24. We had that rally with confirming volume. Again, I'm not one to really trade stocks that are trading close to 52 weeks and all-time lows. I usually try to stay away from them. But anyway, if you're looking for a trade on the long side, this stock has a low float, so the potential for it to run actually exists. So anyway, today we went as high as around 393, essentially running into support before we closed at 327. What you want to pay attention to heading into tomorrow, obviously, is how the stock opens up. If we open up above 327 and we can hold that, more than likely we can perhaps make another run at $4, which is about another 70 cents or so of upside from here. What else? All right, and then we have a ticker MRNS daily chart dating back to, let's focus in on price action around July of 2019 when we had that huge gap down. The stock since then, for the most part, has trended up. You can see here this breakout here on volume closed at 169. Again, it's up about 23% on the day, but this here is a telling story. This volume bar here, which indicates for me a domination in terms of selling. Yes, there is that gap here of around $3.86 to be filled. But considering, again, price action, considering this volume, I suspect that we're going to pull back rather than fill this gap. A telltale sign, obviously, is how we open up. If we open up above 169, that's a good sign. If we open up below, not so much. And especially if we take out 149, more than likely this gap here of around, what's that gap? This gap here of around 139 will be filled. What else? All right, and then we have ticker SAEX daily chart. Let's just focus in on price action from around August of 2019. Stock is up about 20% on the day. I see a quote here of $2.17. Again, buyers step in, drove the stock as high as 241 before pulling back to close at 270, which is a 217, which is a little below that resistance level of $2.30. So heading into tomorrow, whether or not this gap here of around 308 can be filled, I would say the telltale sign would be if this stock can actually take out that $2.30 level and hold. Again, the key is it must hold that, because we tried to do it today, right? Went as high as 241. Could not hold that. So if we can hold 230, I think there's a chance of this stock actually filling that gap of 308. What else? All right, and then we have ticker AEHR daily chart dating back to March of 2019. Nice move on the day, right? Up 22%. You can see some buyers stepping in. Clearly not the volume we saw back in, clearly not the volume we saw back in April of 2019, but nonetheless, higher than above average volume. Anyway, closed at today's high of 167. So we closed at the high of the day. That's always a good telltale sign. Obviously, we want to have follow through tomorrow. So follow through means that we open up not too far below 167. If we can open up above 167, that's good. If that happens, more than likely, I can see us running into this resistance level here of around $1.80. So if we open up above 167, chances are you can run to 180, potentially 2. What else? And then we have GTT daily chart off about 21% on the day. Closed at 765, which is near session lows of 752 on confirming volume. What I see here is we are basically right on this support level here, or very close to it. We can say that support level is around $7.55. If we fail to hold this line, and it looks like we might, do not be surprised to see this stock sitting here at around this low of around $4.90. Yes, it's a ways, but you can see that there's no real support level until we essentially get to around that $4 mark. So caution here. What else? All right, and then we have ticker SNDL daily chart off about 20% on the day. You can see here that the stock has spent the last 5 or 6 trading days just essentially selling off with rising volume. So that means that folks are essentially unloading. Closed at 445, another stock to close near session lows. The low of today clocked in at around $4.44. So if you do not get a hold right? If the stock does not bounce tomorrow, expect selling to accelerate, in my opinion, and do not be surprised if you see this stock trading at around $3 or within $3. What else? Let's follow up on ticker RRD. Daily chart is off about 1.35% on the day. On selling, closed at 366 yesterday. I said that this was a bullish setup in the making, providing that we actually trade above. I think that 370 mark, we did that today. We went as high as 384. Remember, it's all about sustainability. Did not sustain that move, pull back to close at 366. I wouldn't leave this trade yet. I'm personally not looking to get into it, but I wouldn't leave this trade yet if you're looking to get long. Stay with it. Stay with it for a few more days, right? This might have just been like that pullback because of the huge move that we saw yesterday. So again, if you want to look, if you're looking to get long, I would stay with this trade. I'm not saying to play it, right? I don't know anything about your trading style or anything like that. I'm just saying I would stay with it if you're looking to get long, because it is a relatively bullish setup in the making. If we can sustain that 370 break, then more than likely I can see this stock trading at $4, perhaps even $5. What else? All right, so let's wrap it up and round it out with ticker CRON, Cron. I haven't done a recap of Cron in a long time. This is a stock that we actually traded in and out several times in the premium member community. I remember us going long somewhere around here when the stock was trading around $5 and saw the stock shoot all the way up to 25. For anyone that held, was not me, not for so long anyway. They did extremely well, and then the stock started to pull back. Obviously, you're constantly looking for re-entries. I believe we ended up taking the trade twice after that. One was successful, one wasn't so successful. And then you can see here, this is where the stock is breaking down. I would say August of 2019, right? This is a once support, now resistance level. This blue line here, you can see we've gotten a bounce off of it a few times, except for here we didn't get that bounce, not so much. Ended up crashing through. If you were long, that should have been not necessarily your sell signal, but your caution signal. And it seems as though that the decline is not going to stop. It has not bucked this trend that it started back in February of 2019. It's continuously pulling back. What you want it to start doing is this. Then you'll know that it's reversing in trend. But right now, again, it's declining. So I wouldn't even be surprised to see it pull back to levels of around $5 where we initially got in about a year or two ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. So here sitting at $9.36. Again, it's off about 2% on the day. The low clocked in at 9.25. So we traded or closed relatively close to today's low. Never a good sign in my opinion. For me, Cron right now, the marijuana sector, in the shorter and intermediate term, may be something you might want to be cautious on. Longer term, if you believe that these types of stocks will do well, I still think you have time to get in if you're looking for a longer term trajectory. But in the shorter term, it's not looking so good. All right, that's my take on Cron, and we are going to cap it there. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I'd like you to do 3 things for me, just 3. 1, first thing, comment in the comment section. If you liked the video, let me know. Thumbs up. If you did not like it, thumbs down. Comment, super important. First thing. Secondly, I do videos Monday through Friday. If the stock market is open, expect a video. So if you don't want to miss any, ensure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. And lastly, last thing, my friend, I've been trading for well over 1.5. That's 15 years, a long time. I've learned a lot about the markets. I'm willing to share it with you. So if you think you can learn anything from me, then definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. I will talk to you tomorrow.